Over the next 2 weeks, we're going to be talking about the normal probability distribution. So you can see you've already started looking at the normal distribution this week, and you're going to continue to do that next week. Now, what I'm going to do in this part of the case study is just to go through and look at some of our quantitative variables, and unfortunately, as we'll find, nothing is really normally distributed, so we won't be able to do much work with this particular data set for the next 2 weeks. So you'll kind of be off the hook there, if you will, so you won't have to do too much work. But I did want to provide you with some mechanisms to find out if something is normally distributed. So the way that we would do that is to look at a histogram. So we'll look at a histogram of deaths, and we'll look at a histogram of this crude percentage here as well, and we'll find that neither of them are normally distributed, so we won't have much more work to do. But let's take a look at this. So let's do a histogram of deaths, and we've done this one before. And remember, we started the bins at 0 and we changed the bin width to 10. And what I want to do is show you one more option here. So I'm going to click next, and there's something called an overlay density. And what this means is it'll actually draw a picture of a particular distribution that you might want to see, so you can judge how well it fits the distribution or not. So I'm going to go ahead and overlay a normal distribution on here, and I'm going to let it determine the mean and standard deviation of the normal distribution. And I'm going to click Create Graph. And you can see we've seen this particular distribution before of deaths, and this red line here is the normal distribution overlay. And if this were to be normal, it would fit well within this particular red line. This one does not fit at all. There are huge gaps here, and this is way above where the red line is, so this one isn't normal. Now what I'm going to do is go back and just do a couple more overlays so we can see what this might actually follow. So I'm going to click Edit, and I'm going to change this. Let's change it to an exponential and click Create Graph. And you can see that this one fits much better. It's not perfect, but it does fit this much closer than the normal distribution did. So this looks like it might be a little bit closer to an exponential distribution. Let's see if we can get anything else that's a little close. So let's try this beta distribution. Okay, and the beta distribution showing up here says improper data, so it's not actually able to overlay a beta distribution for us. So this one can't be correct either. And we'll try one more. Let's try a gamma. Okay, now here's a gamma. So you can see this one does not fit really well. Here's the tip of the red line. It fits well here, but not particularly here. So this looks like it was best suited by the exponential. So again, it was not normal at all, but we can find a distribution that does fit it. Let's try to do the same thing with this crude percentage of deaths per population. So let's go into graphics and create a histogram of the crude percentage. And again, I'm going to start the bins at 0, and the bin width I'm going to make 1. And I'm going to go ahead and overlay a normal distribution on it. So you can see again we've got a nicely skewed graph here. It does not fit the normal distribution at all. It's not symmetric or bell-shaped. And let's just go back and overlay an exponential and see if that doesn't fit better. Again, we find here that this fits very well with the exponential distribution, which is not one that we'll cover in this course, but I did want to show you some of the ways that these particular real-world data sets are distributed. So these both were exponential. Now, there are just a few short questions this week for your case study, and then there won't be any next week at all. So go ahead and answer those questions and put the case study to rest for the next 2 weeks.